For someone who's never heard of Social 19, it is a race and ethnic relations course that is unlike any other lecture course in Penn State.
Sam Richards teaches Social 19 at Penn State University. He is a very open and caring guy. He is very experienced with cultures and religion, so he's pretty open to talking about anything.
If you can't be equal, men and women, forget about, the costumes at Halloween, forget about all that other stuff.
I like the feeling of the class being some kind of theater event or a concert.
Sam Richards likes to break preconceived notions by explaining how we have all been socially conditioned and by waking us up to what we have been told to believe.
Just keep working a little harder. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's all good. This is America.
So I'm fairly controversial, I suppose, because I'm willing to talk about everything and anything, and I'm willing to challenge cherished beliefs.
I think he does his job very well. I think he has a good way of making people uncomfortable, but it's like a nice uncomfort that it's necessary, it's needed.
One of the things that I found that's really important is to have activities, that students don't want to listen to somebody lecture. Even doesn't matter how entertaining they are, you lose your interest. So I've really started to bring lots of students up to the front and do activities with them, anything at all, like something that's kind of engaging. And so one of the activities that I do every semester is bring about 15 to 20 people down front from different areas of the world, different ancestries, and then have a couple students in class try to group them together into, I guess, groups, ancestry groups, or race or ethnic groups that make sense to them.
You got to draw distinct boundaries between people, and you have 30 seconds. These three are together down here?
No, these are just like non.
Oh, these are the rejects? All right.
It shows us how our judgments are flawed, and what we see is basically most of it is an illusion.
My name's Bilal. I was born in the U.S. and raised in Pakistan.
It's Pakistani. So he needs to be down with them. But it's okay. He's just 10 people apart. You were close.
And one of the things that people discover is that just by looking at someone, you really don't know who they are or what they are.
What's interesting, you actually did not a bad job, by the way. I mean, it was terrible, but not bad for being terrible.
Today's lecture is actually conceived of by my wife, Dr. Lori Mulvey, and she'll be with me today in class. But just talking about today's class is called The Needy Penis. I mean, just saying penis in the title of a lecture is fairly controversial.
Sex in a female-centered world is all about multiple orgasms. Not one, multiple orgasms. You're not talking about one orgasm. One orgasm, whatever. Come on. I'll start talking about real orgasms when we get up to 5 and 6. And that's what would be the conversation. Men, one orgasm, they're done. Women are like, hang on, that's my first 3.
It's a sort of a look at how gender roles and gender inequality plays out in our intimate spaces, in our most intimate spaces, in these spaces where people willingly and kind of give themselves to certain experiences, and yet they do so very much shaped by deeply embedded sexism and male supremacy.
I left my wallet at work. Is there anything else I could do for you?
No, that cookies here.
I know, but...
Hot sausage.
Sounds good. Oh, I like the sound of that.
And then we start everything.
Then we have sex.
I think today's class is a little different in the sense that I think it really speaks to people personally.
In a college town as a woman, this was a lecture I wanted to hear. This was something that straight boys needed to hear.
One of the things we do is we try to look at gender sort of through the lens of race, right? So here's this kind of race conversation we've been having all semester, and then we, sort of look at gender through that. And as we do, it's much easier to see that inequality.
Sex is kind of everywhere in a sense. So to really learn about sex culture in a whole different light is very much what our generation needs, I believe.
The reason I live stream is because I want to bring other voices into the classroom. And we're here in Central Pennsylvania, and even though we have students from all over the world, I think it's important to engage with others and people of different ages and backgrounds and so on.
The live stream for Social 19 is taken care of by the students, and they actually volunteer for the position of sharing great knowledge that happens here and sharing it with parents and friends who can't attend the class.
I think I sent it out to my mom or my family, and I was like, you guys, you have to watch this.
My mom could learn a lot if she watched it, because she grew up in Philadelphia like I did, so she instilled a lot of the thoughts that I had on me before I took the class. So I feel like the same way it made me more open-minded throughout the semester, it will do the same thing for her.
So last class we had 273 people watching the stream from at least, I think, 6 different countries. My goal for this class is to confuse people. At the end of every class, at the end of every semester, I want people to be infinitely more confused than they were at the beginning.
It affects you in little ways. After every lecture, bit by bit, it affects you.
The class has made me realize how everyone wants to stand up for what they believe in.
And I think that's one of the biggest things you can take from the class, is just being able to hear other people and understand what they're saying, whether you agree or not.
It is through confusion that we learn, because we're forced to put the pieces back together. And then we have to put them back together according to what we think, not according to what other people think.